Okay, today we're going to make one of the most amazing chocolate cakes. It's a 3-layer cake that we are doing today with a beautiful chocolate cream, cheese butter cream frosting that we're going to use. A lot of ingredients to this cake, so I'm just going to run through these just to give you an idea of what you may need to get together if you don't have it at home. So we're going to use 3 cups of the all-purpose flour. We're going to need 3 cups of the sugar, the granulated sugar, 1.5 cups of the unsweetened cocoa powder, and it's very important to get a good quality unsweetened cocoa powder because it makes a big difference to the flavor that your cake's going to come out with at the end. And we'll use a lot of cocoa powder. 1 tablespoon of our baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of our baking powder. Okay, so we'll get that all together. 4 large eggs and 1.5 cups of buttermilk. Now, the buttermilk is something that usually in Dubai you cannot find. There are many recipes online for buttermilk. I'll just give you a very simple one that you can do at home. Is take your milk, 1.5 cups of it, put 1.5 tablespoons of white vinegar and put that in your microwave for about 30 to 40 seconds, right? Take that out, let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes on your counter and you've got buttermilk. We're going to use 1.5 cups of warm water, 1/2 cup of your vegetable oil, you can use any vegetable oil you wish, and you're going to use 2 teaspoons of the vanilla extract. So that's really the batter for the cake and putting it together in terms of ingredients. You can use the same size pans if you want to. I like to use 3 different sizes of pans when I'm doing this, and it gives me the ability to layer it in a much more pyramid style, which is going to look much nicer. Now let's talk about what we're going to use in regards to the chocolate cream cheese buttercream frosting. It's very important just to tell the ingredients, and we'll go through this again. We're going to use 1.5 cups of softened butter. I would also suggest that about 8 ounces of cream cheese. Any of your cooking block cream cheeses out there, Philadelphia or any of the ones in your local market would work. We're going to use 1.5 cups of, again, unsweetened cocoa powder. So there's lots of cocoa powder here. 3 teaspoons of your vanilla extract, again, that we are using. And we're going to use about 7 to 8 cups of icing sugar and about 1/4 cup of your milk. Okay, so what we're going to do at this stage is take our pans, turn your oven at 350 degrees in terms of Fahrenheit, and you need to make sure that you use a little bit of softer butter and butter up. You don't want any of this cake to stick. Just make sure it's well buttered. And you can use a flour here from which to actually add in, but I like to use a little bit of cocoa powder. Since we are making chocolate cake, let's use a little bit of that cocoa powder that we have. So just a little bit of a dab of that in there. Okay. I'm gonna make sure that you've mixed that up well. Tap it across, get the sides in there. Okay, so I'm back. This time with an apron, getting myself really dirty here in the kitchen. I've already buttered and put the cocoa powder on all my pans. I've turned my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In Celsius, you need to be around 175, which should work absolutely fine at that temperature. So let's start putting together our cake. So we're gonna need the 3 cups of flour. I need our sugar, putting in all our dry ingredients first. 1.5 cups of cocoa powder. Our baking powder and our baking soda. Our salt. And I talked earlier about our buttermilk, so I've pre-prepped this ahead of time. Milk and vinegar as a reminder. We just mix it up. It does curdle. That's absolutely fine. If you see it curdle like this, do not worry about that. That's exactly how buttermilk should be. Okay, we're gonna add that in there. Gonna put our half a cup of oil, vegetable oil, our 1.5 cups of warm water. Finally, last 2 ingredients. We need our 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And finally, our 4 eggs. Okay, so you can hand mix this all together. I have a handy hand mixer here, which makes it much easier. Okay, so we've mixed our batter up. These are our pans. You want to evenly or spread these across the 3 pans. Just remember, you don't need this to be too thick because you're not really cutting it. You're going to use the layering from each of these pans to build up your cake. Alright, so as you can see, we're using up all our batter here. Cakes are looking wonderful. Our oven's getting hot. Okay, so my oven is ready. I think I'm gonna have enough space to put all my pans in there. For cakes to cook right, they need to have an oven that's heated. Okay, so while our cakes are in the oven, we can make the frosting. This is chocolate buttermilk frosting, cream cheese buttermilk frosting. First thing you want to do is take your butter. Now I've left the butter out for a little while because in order for you to work with it, it needs to be a little bit softer. And just leave it out for about an hour outside of the oven, of the fridge, sorry. Let's get these all beaten up and then. Okay, so once your cream cheese and butter mixture looks somewhat like this, then you're going to add in your 1.5 cups of cocoa powder that we have. Okay, so at this stage, once we've mixed that up, it's really hardening up, so just add a little bit of your 3 teaspoons of your vanilla extract. Now what you want to do is beat this, and as you're going to add in 1 cup at a time of your icing sugar, right? So it's 7 to 8 cups. Keep going till you get to the consistency that you want. Okay, after I've put in my 2nd cup of the icing sugar, I'd like to add in just about half that milk that I've got, just to soften it up, make it up easier for us to work with it. All right, so I'm going for the 5th right now. Okay, so this is what our frosting is gonna look like. We've taken our time putting in the icing sugar cup by cup. We've added the milk slowly just to get to this level of consistency. This is gonna harden up a little bit more once we put it in the fridge. Let's leave it in the fridge for about an hour until we need it to frost the cake. Okay, so we've waited for our cake to cool down. Use one of these platforms. You can use a big plate if you have it at home. Our frosting has been in the fridge since we put it together. It's nice and firm. It's not too soft. Now we can apply it all over our cake. Okay, we're gonna do our 2nd layer. Get it as center as you can. Tap it in. Okay, we have our last layer. All right. Now doing the sides. Okay, so this is our cake completely frosted. You're gonna need to actually put this in the fridge overnight and just let it hold on together better. This cake is actually for my
twin boys' birthday. It actually was in end of March, but due to everything going on worldwide, we decided that we're gonna do a home birthday for them, just the family here. You can add a little bit of sprinkle, you can add a little bit of more decoration on this. It's really up to you from here. I hope you enjoy the cake, and bon appetit. We'll show you tomorrow once we get to the final stage of decoration.
Okay, I finished decorating the cake. Very simple things. I put some sprinkles down, and since my boys who turned 7 just recently love Fortnite and love playing PlayStation, I thought this would be a great theme to give them for their cake. Enjoy, make this at home, and stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much.